Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. Two female suicide bombers were intercepted while attempting to set off explosives at an NNPC mega station along Damboa Road in Maiduguri, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. The Borno State Police Command confirmed this on Tuesday morning. One of the bombers was reportedly killed while the second was arrested by officials of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Both of them are between the ages of 18. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says President Muhammadu Buhari is hale and hearty and is expected to return home very soon. President Muhammadu Buhari has been in the UK since mid-January for unspecified medical checkups, and many Nigerians suspect his health is worse than officials are admitting. Speaking to reporters on Monday, Osinbajo says that the president will return home as soon as he completes necessary tests recommended by doctors in the United Kingdom.
The president is hale and hearty. I spoke to him just this afternoon, and we had a fairly long conversation. He was interested in knowing about the process, the budget process, and how far we had gone. And as you know, we had a meeting today with the private sector on the economic recovery and growth plan, and he was also interested in knowing what was happening with that, with the economic recovery and growth plan, and what we are doing with the private sector. And of course informed him about some of what we are seeing, the protest marches and all of that, and some of what the feedback and what people are saying about the economy and all of that. So he's in good shape. We are very chatty, and we had a conversation. The health status of Mr. President is a fact or an issue that only Mr. President himself will be able to discuss at the appropriate time. Again, he's running tests. There are tests and all of that. Before you determine your health status, you must be able to say, this is my health status. I mean, if I'm running tests, if I'm running tests, doing some routine, doing some that have been referred, that have been, I've asked, my doctors have asked me to do, then surely I must await the outcome of that before I talk about any kind of status.
The acting president also dismissed reports that he was under pressure to resign from office.
I'm absolutely under no pressure to resign. In any event, I was voted for by the people of this nation, myself and Mr. President. And the people of this nation have not asked us to resign, so I have absolutely no pressure whatsoever. And the truth is that there has been absolutely no pressure whatsoever from any source asking me to resign, and that's the honest truth.
A panel created to investigate electoral offences during the Rivers parliamentary rerun elections says it has recovered 111 million naira from 23 INEC officials. Chairman of the panel, Damian Okoro, revealed this while presenting the team's report to the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, in Abuja on Tuesday. He alleged that 3 senior electoral officers collected 20 million naira each out of the 360 million naira given to them by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, while the remaining officers received 15 million naira each. Wike has so far denied any wrongdoing. Hundreds of Nigerians marched through major cities in the country in protest of what they call unfavorable government policies. The protests held in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt and other major cities across the country were held on Monday. Popular musician Two-Face Idibia, who was billed to lead the protest in Lagos, opted out at the 11th hour, citing security concerns. However, the activist group that called for the protest says the demonstrations would go ahead.
Despite the last-minute announcement from the original initiator of the protest march, music star Two-Face Idibia, calling off the protests, other civil society groups made sure the protest goes on as planned. Security around the National Stadium in Lagos, takeoff point for the protest march, was heavily beefed up even before the protesters arrived. But before long, the organizers arrived, the crowd built up.
We have come here today to express ourselves. We have come here today to tell government that we are far from where we ought to be. We have come here to say, within the Committee of Nations, Nigeria has become a ridicule. We have come here to say, even with nations who are significant in sub-Saharan West Africa, Ghana seems to have gone ahead of Nigeria. And it is a shame. In the language of Patiko Bayagbo, it is a pitiable dismal. It is regrettably lugubrious. That's what we have come here to say.
Some people tell me on social media, then because they will not see money spent. Say we collect money from the government. And they tell them, I don't know Jonathan. I don't care who Jonathan be. That's it. I don't care who Buhari be. I don't tell you because of Buhari. Yes, sir. You understand me? And they hear about the governance for this nation. Both tell ourselves. Everybody for this nation is the government of himself. Yes, maybe you don't provide water for yourself. Maybe you don't give yourself light. In Nigeria now you will see where person go get 3 generators.
After those speeches, the march began. As the march, the police followed the crowd, ostensibly providing security for the group. Carrying placards with different inscriptions, the protesters began their journey to the National Theatre. The presence of media personalities like the publisher of Sahara reporter Omoyele Sowore, Charlie Boy, and Nigerian top comedian Sheilo added steam to the protest. Arriving in the National Theatre, they gathered together for another round of speeches.
We said transparency. Some of the states, all of the states received bailout funds. There are at least about, 20-something states that are owing salaries. What can them do with that money? We're asking questions. Then we have all the people that were illegally hired inside CBN, inside federal revenue, inside prison, investigate them. IDP camps, our fellow Nigerians are suffering. Meanwhile, they are asking women to have sex for food. Some of their food are being stolen. Nobody has been investigated, nobody has gone to jail. We're asking what's going on.
It can give us total liberation except a revolution in this country. If you are thinking that a peaceful protest can do it for you, well, I wish you luck. If you are thinking of a protest that is directed by the police, I wish you luck. Go and ask the people of Egypt if it is the police that directed their protest. Go and ask the people of the Gambia recently if it is the police that gave them liberation. It is you that will give yourself liberation and not the police.
You see, this thing when they happen, now so it's going to happen, they go till government starts doing what we want.
Keeping a watchful eye over proceedings, the Commissioner of Police of Lagos State, Fatai Owosheni, and other high-ranking DSS officials. The protesters say their message has been clearly sent to the government and can only hope the necessary measure will be taken to address them. Meanwhile, the Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, in a statement, said the government has heard the cries of Nigerians on their sufferings loud and clear, promising they would ensure all Nigerians get a fair deal. Endurance Salonge, TV360, Lagos.
Nigeria's acting president Yemi Osinbajo has assured Nigerians that the government is working to solve the grievances of the people. Osinbajo acknowledged the complaints of protesters, assuring them of a better life for Nigerians. He also commended the Nigerian police force for their conduct at the protests. NLC President Ayuba Waba says organized labor in Nigeria, in collaboration with its civil society allies, will organize a one-day rally for good governance and corruption. According to Waba, the rally, which is billed for the 9th of February 2017, it is expected to address the issues of minimum and living wage, payment of salaries, pension and gratuity, and to be held in both Lagos and Abuja.
Under the law, every citizen has a right to protest. No law will actually try to infringe on that fundamental right, because it's a constitutional right. And therefore, I think we have to also lend our voice to the fact that every group, every citizen has a right actually to exercise his right of peaceful assembly and also the right to protest. That, I think, what police need to do is actually to provide security for such group of persons. But I think the law is very explicit, and these have been tested up to the level of Court of Appeal, I think up to the level of Supreme Court, that no group requires any permission to actually exercise this right. But I think also that what is important is for the police to be informed so that they can also provide security.
The Nigerian government has withdrawn corruption charges on the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, Ahmed Saleh, and 2 other employees of the Apex Court. Saleh and Mohammed Sharif, as well as Rilwan Olawa, were accused of diverting the sum of 2.2 billion naira belonging to the court. Office of the Attorney General of the Federation had filed the charges against them. However, at the resumption of the trial on Tuesday, counsel to the government, Hajara Yusuf, told the court that she has been instructed to withdraw the charges. And Abuja High Court has adjourned till March 1st the corruption case of Stephen Orosaye. He is accused of diverting the sum of 190 million naira. Orosaye, who is a former head of service of the Federation, was also the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Financial Action, set up by former President Goodluck Jonathan. The Ministry of Budget and National Planning says Nigeria is targeting economic growth of at least 7% by 2020. In a statement, Minister of Budget and National Planning Udoma says that the 7% target for gross domestic product is part of a medium-term economic recovery plan that seeks to address some of Nigeria's issues. The plan's main concern are agriculture and food security, energy, as well as small businesses, and industrialization and stabilizing the macroeconomic environment. The Nigerian government has secured a $7.5 billion loan for the construction of standard rail gauge from Lagos to Kano State. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi revealed this during a town hall meeting in Ilorin, Kwara State. The $7.5 billion is part of the $30 billion loan the federal government seeks to take and for which it has sought approval from the National Assembly. According to him, the loan was secured from a Chinese bank and the ministry is waiting for approval from the National Assembly to access the loan. Minister of Power Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola has explained how the federal government has ranked highway projects across the country in order of economic importance. Appearing before the Senate, the minister said that the priority of one projects are national priority projects on critical economic routes on the federal government roads, while he said these are highly trafficked north-south, east-west routes used for the distribution of goods and services across the country and major river crossing bridges. In the 2017 budget proposal, the ministry has 564.2 billion naira, which is the highest vote for capital expenditure. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has revealed that his administration has commenced plans to enforce a ban on yellow buses, popularly known as danfo, from Lagos roads. Speaking at an event, Ambode said that the ban will ensure a more efficient, well-structured mass transportation system that would ease movement within the city. He admitted that the present connectivity mode in Lagos was not acceptable, but assured that there were plans to address that challenge.
Corruption not in my country.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. Eh? What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I've paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, The transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption,
not in my country.
Go to your bank. Go.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. The Naira stayed unchanged to trade at 4.98 against the US dollar in the black market. The Naira, however, remained stable at 305.25 Naira to the dollar at the interbank market. Data on the website of the CBN show that the nation's external reserves has risen by 7.89% since the beginning of the year. Traders said while the Apex Bank has been selling dollars on the official market to support the Naira, dollar scarcity has affected the currency. The Central Bank of Nigeria has threatened to sanction banks still collecting payments under the Nigerian Content Development Fund without remitting to dedicated account opened for the fund. Godwin Emefiele, CBN governor, made the statement at a stakeholders forum. Emefiele says the bank would collaborate with the agency to identify defaulting banks. Oil price was stable on Tuesday after falls from the previous session, with markets torn between mixed price indicators. Brent crude futures were trading at $55.77 per barrel, while U.S. crude futures were up 4 cents at $53.05 per barrel. Since the beginning of the year, both crude future benchmarks have remained within a $5 per barrel since price range, suggesting a lack of strong directional price indicators in the market. At least 20 people have been killed and another 45 injured in a suicide bombing at Afghanistan's Supreme Court in Kabul. According to officials, the number of casualties is expected to rise. The bomber targeted the car park of the court compound, reports say. The injured are being ferried to hospitals within the area. The attack comes hours after a senior district official in Western Farah province was killed in a bombing claimed by the Taliban. The U.S. Justice Department has defended President Donald Trump's travel ban and urged an appeal court to reinstate it in the interest of national security. The executive order temporarily banned entry for all refugees and visitors from 7 mainly Muslim countries. A 15-page brief argued it was a lawful exercise of the president's authority and not a ban on Muslims. A hearing has been set for Tuesday on whether to allow or reject the ban. World Football Governing Body FIFA has extended a ban placed on Nigerian football officials Chris Giwa and 4 others. The others are Muazu Suleiman, Yahaya Adama, Sani Fema and Johnson Effiong. The officials were banned for charges relating to breaches of NFF statutes and the FIFA Code of Ethics. They have been banned from taking part in any kind of football-related activity. Ghana's coach Avram Grant has quit after more than 2 years in charge of the team. Grant's resignation comes 5 days after his side crashed out in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations to eventual winners Cameroon. The former Chelsea manager was given a target of winning this year's tournament but finished 4th in the race. The International All Athletics Federation IAAF has extended a ban placed on Russian athletes. In a statement, the body says it has decided to extend the ban on the East European nation because the country was, quote, not ready for reinstatement. It also means the country will miss the 2017 World Athletics Championship in London. The championship, which will be Usain Bolt's swan song, takes place in August 2017. That's all we have on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.